States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And please call the roll.
Trustee Gifford.
Here.
Trustee Zeman.
Here.
Trustee Rizzo.
Here.
Mayor Casper.
Here. Trustee Mathis is excused tonight. And we'll go to item number 3, which is privilege of the floor. Jerry, sign up. Jerry Moore.
Thank you. My name is Jerry Moore, Jerrymmoore, and anyone who wants a copy of what I say tonight can contact me at jerrymoore@nycap.rr.com or request an electronic copy from the village clerk. I know the village, members of the audience, the village board, and many, many others will join with me in expressing our sorrow and condolences to Mayor Casper on the passing of his father, Kenneth Casper, a military veteran and teacher who taught science for many years at Scotia Glenville. Our sympathies also extend to the Burmaster family on the death of Flower Burmaster, the mother-in-law of former mayor of the village, Mayor William Slice, and a woman of many accomplishments, passions, and roles who in some way touched every member of this community. We have also lost, and I apologize if I mispronounce anyone's name, and please interrupt me if I do, because their names are most important. We also lost Air Force veteran and 27-year village firefighter Lawrence Colton. Did I get that right? Colton? I'm sorry. Piano teacher and faithful servant of God, Jane McGarvey. Former Scotia Glenville Schools treasurer, Regina Ryan, and Lawless Containers employee and St. Joseph's communicant, Alice Whittam. All of them are deeply missed by those who knew them, and our community has been greatly enriched by their presence among us. At the October board meeting, I made several demands related to the proposed sewer project. These weren't made for rhetorical effect or show. We have a right to a letter of clarification from the City of Schenectady concerning paragraph 26 of the sewer contract. We have a right to see the historical information used by McDonald Engineering to calculate the future cost of leasing sewage treatment services from the city. We have a right to see a projection of our sewer rates. None of you have submitted your resignations to the community, yet we still don't have essential information that must be known before you purchase land and submit an application to the state in March. How long are you going to conceal information from the community? On November the 2nd, the Gazette published an online story by Brett Samuels about Scotia's proposed sewage plant. At 10:31 p.m., I provided him with 2 sources to disprove his assertion that Scotia pays the City of Schenectady almost $750,000 per year to treat its wastewater. For 2015-16, the city billed Scotia $563,743. The average bill for the past 7 years is $647,747. Does the mayor or any of the trustees dispute these numbers? Despite 24 hours preprint publication notice of its error, the Gazette persisted with publishing the erroneous $750,000 cost on November 4th. The $750,000 number from the study provides the only possible economic justification for building a new sewage plant in the village. If the real number is closer to $564,000 that we paid this year, or to the $648,000 average that we paid for the last 7 years, then building this plant will increase our sewer rates and our sewer bills. We want to see the numbers and the spreadsheets that justify your cost projections. We want to see them now. Finally, during the past 3 weeks, I walked the entire area of the village and learned what its greatest problem is. Do you know what it is? It has nothing to do with the sewer plant, or the police, or the fire department, or the parks, or a new firehouse, or a new village hall. It's neighborhood blight. The number of houses needing extensive repairs is horrifying. What's your solution? To pass vacant property registries? To clobber the destitute with code enforcement and more rules and regulations? To build new sidewalks at public expense and then tell homeowners it's your responsibility to maintain them when they can't afford to fix what they already have? To spruce up the business district and call neighborhoods to account? Holy cow. These people are the victims of your laws, your confiscatory taxes, your suffocating regulations, your job-killing policies, your mediocre public schools, your politically correct mandates, your cost-escalating energy policies, your healthcare mandates, your monetary policies, your zoning laws, your housing codes, your endless assault on their creativity, their ambition, and their liberty. Their houses did not deteriorate overnight. It's the result of decades of abuse by government, and your solution is to hold them accountable? They are the victims. I am here to tell you that you are responsible for this mess. Next month, when you set your goals for the year, I only want to see one goal on it. The village trustees will do everything they possibly can to prevent and reduce village blight by 15% in 2017. By an additional 15% by 2018, and to eliminate 90% of village blight by 2022. That means whenever the federal or state governments take actions that kill jobs, increase taxes, destroy individual ambition, or drive up home ownership costs, you pass resolutions left and right to condemn these actions. This means you engage the high school, the community college, colleges and universities in finding ways to fix our problem. This means the trustees personally study approaches used by other places around the country. It means that instead of assigning trustees to departments, you assign them to streets. You cannot solve this problem by sitting in your seats and attending meetings. You need to get off your butts and into the streets. I want to see significant, creative, compassionate, intelligent progress on this issue this year, or I'm going to do whatever it takes to give you reminiscences of the 2016 village election as one of the good old days. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who cares to be heard at privilege of the floor? Seeing none, I'm going to close that and move on to item number 4, which is the approval of new firefighters, volunteer firefighters Joshua Adams, Luke Perry, and Nicole Taylor. Anybody care to
I'll
move?
make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 5 is to set the date for the public hearing for the special use permit for the CVS Pharmacy. This would be the special use permit for the drive-through, and that date would be December 14th, which would be our regular monthly meeting next month. Do we need a motion for that?
It may be risky.
In consultation with Lydia, the special use permit, well, Lydia.
Well, I said we could have the public hearing, you don't have to act on it that night.
You could have backed out anyway, right? There's no
Well, it kind of depends. We'll know when we get there, but
Okay.
just because you have the public hearing that night doesn't mean you have to act that night.
But if they disapprove it, does that,
Well, then I guess we're back at square
Table.
one. Yeah,
Table.
table it or adjourn it or whatever.
I'd say if you need to advertise it or, but we'll know before you have to advertise. Can you make the motion contingent on it being approved by the planning board?
Ask our attorney, this takes question.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be approved, it just has to not have been disapproved, I'll say.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, I think we would have been disapproved.
you saw the letter today, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
so,
would cancel it
okay.
anyway.
Yeah.
I think there's, someone did come tonight and in case.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions about it? I guess you could ask any questions.
And
for it.
and so that if there's any questions, you have tonight, so that, you know, so you're not seeing it for the first time next month and, you wanna, Do you want them to just make a statement, or do you just questions?
No, I think we're all cognizant of the fact that it takes a special use permit for any drive-through in the village of Scotia. That's why it's coming to us. Typically, and there are a specific set of circumstances that we would approve or deny that special use permit on, which is part of our code. Beyond that, we're waiting for site plan approval. Any questions from anybody before we? Okay. So, do we need to vote to set the date?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to move that we set the date for the special hearing, the hearing for the special use permit for CVS Pharmacy for December 14th.
I'll make the motion.
Well, I made the motion as a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 6 is my comments to the board.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for coming.
Thanks. I only have 2. One is I just wanted to point out that we do have a very special guest tonight. Pete Frazzoni has joined us from the police department.
Sitting way back there.
It's not every month that you see Pete here, so I just thought I would
My pleasure.
recognize it. And Joe, I'm sure you were going to cover this, but I just wanted to get it on the record to remind you guys that Holiday on the Ave is December 4th from 2 to 5, and beyond that, when Drew does his report, I'll let him take it from there. And those are my comments. Item number 7, correspondence liaison and special committee reports. Trustee Gifford.
We had a fire department meeting. We had the fire department cider and donuts on Halloween. I was very upset to read in Pete's report that it was uneventful. We had an event and it went pretty well. We gave away about 50 gallons of cider and 100 dozen donuts. The planning board meeting last night, we approved awning for Nini's Paninis across the street. We approved a parking lot for the church on Glen Avenue and Reynolds. And we talked some about CVS, but they weren't there.
All right, thanks. Trustee Zeman.
Nothing.
Trustee Rizzo.
Again, Chris, we got the Holiday on the Avenue coming up. We got a meeting scheduled next Monday. On November 20th, I will be putting up the bows on the lights with our committee. I think there's 3 of us that are going to be doing that. So we'll put all the bows, we'll be decorating the village and also the village green to get it ready for the activities. Our parade is coming along. We have a number of groups that are going to participate in that, in our little Christmas parade for the village. And that's all I have to report this month.
Thanks. Item number 8 are the departmental reports. Any questions or comments on the departmental reports? Anybody care to move to accept them?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm going to appoint myself to the Finance Committee, and because item number 9 is audit of claims, and Trustee Mathis is excused tonight, so I'll move that we accept the audit of claims.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on that? Since we're dealing with money, we'll call the roll.
Trustee Gifford?
Yes.
Trustee Zeman?
Yes.
Trustee Rizzo?
Yes.
Mayor Pat?
Yes. Item number 10 is the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees on October 12th, 2016.
You got 2 October 12th, sir, which is what it is.
Yeah, one was the work session.
Oh, was it
Yeah.
one before the other one? Okay. A second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 11 is the approval of the special meeting of the trustees on October 12th, 2016.
A second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item number 12 is new business. Does any trustee have new business for us
I
tonight?
got 2 items. I was wondering, Andrew, what's happening with the deck on the Sunnyside Road Bridge? And what else is happening with the storm drains? I know it's late in the year, they're probably not gonna be done, but you should put that on the agenda to get those repaired.
Yep, the Sunnyside Road Bridge, we have a repair specification from the manufacturer of the overlay product. It's sort of weather dependent, and obviously I think we're a little late, although in discussion with the contractor and the engineer, I think we'd like to see sort of, we've been making several patches in some of the spots that are the worst, and we'd like to see how those wear through another winter. Last winter, I don't think was a good indication, and then we can address it in the spring. We also had a bridge inspection report, which revealed some issues with the structure, which has been an ongoing issue and is not our responsibility. So I think probably timing-wise, it's good to see how that kind of shakes out before we really try to start to tackle some of those repairs. So we're keeping on top of those. There's several patches, and then we'll address it in the spring once we sort of have a direction from DOT, who does the bridge inspections. That our responsibility of the bridge, when the inspection was done, was, however we want to say it, it passed with flying colors, let's say, because that sounds pretty good.
So the repairs on a bridge won't cost the village any money, no doubt, right?
No, most likely not. There may be some incidental repair, some incidental costs, but no, the majority of the costs would be from the contractor.
Anybody else have any new business? I just have a couple. I'd like to set the date of our organizational meeting, which by our code is the first Monday of December. That's when we appoint all our appointed employees, and I assign the deputies, or the duties to the trustees. So I'd like to set that for December 5th at 6 o'clock. I also emailed you guys, Lydia, Charlie, Palmer and I sat down just to review the bid contract. There's no new terms in it, but there's more specific. It's more specific as to the dates that things like their budget are due and what's required as far as their financial reporting. So I sent you guys copies of it. It didn't make the agenda, but I would like to be authorized to sign that so that we can get that signed, sealed, and delivered. So, anybody care to move to authorize me to sign the renewal of the bid contract?
I'll make the motion.
Any discussion on that? And that's an official contract, so we'll call the roll.
Trustee Gifford?
Yes.
Trustee Zena?
Yep.
Trustee Rizzo?
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald?
Yes. And then finally, in your pile, you have our I think it's our code requires that the clerk provide the trustees with the training hours for each of our boards. The planning and zoning boards are required 4 hours annually for training. What we've done in the past is the first time a member of one of those boards does not complete their training, we give them an extension of time, I think it's 6 weeks, to get caught up on their training. If they don't do that, then they're not eligible to serve on that board anymore, and they basically are replaced. So you'll see that. I'll send the letters out, reminding people that they need to get it done. I'm assuming we're all still good. We've done it every year, that we would give the first timers that extension so they can get their training done. And then we'll see what we have for membership. Anything else for anybody? All right, so we did have our election. I'm not really sure. I mean, we've got 244 outstanding ballots, but however things shake out from the two candidates, I want to thank you for your service here in the village, and it'll be, I think, another week before we actually get the final results, so we'll see how things shake out. All right, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So be it.